Hello and welcome to week 33 of the Lucy Letby trial. So, summary of what happened in court this week. The court only sat for 4 days because on Friday one of the jurors was unwell. So what stage are we at? Well, we are at the stage of the KC for the prosecution doing his closing speeches. Now remember, the burden of proof is on the prosecution. Letby does not have to prove her innocence. He has to prove, the prosecution have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Letby is guilty of murder and attempted murder. So in no kind of particular order, some of the things that he was saying this week, he said that she was calculating and devious. She had been gaslighting her colleagues to cover up the murders, and she got away with all these murders and attempted murders because nobody could contemplate that a nurse would do something horrific to children. And he instructed the jury to focus on the similarities of the case. And he said that Letby was actually quite ignorant because she was ignorant of the biofingerprint with the children that she tried to poison with synthetic insulin. And he said the following. He said, "All clues point in one direction, don't they? She's sitting in the back of the court." So he's good. This KC, as you would expect, King's Counsel barrister, is, you can just see how clever they are when they kind of instruct the jury and they say things, and they don't even have to say that much, but it's actually quite powerful. So other things that the KC talked about in his closing speeches was child O, remarkable deterioration, like nothing else could explain it. It was Letby, and she was enjoying what was going on. She was controlling things. Remember, child O had a traumatic injury to their liver, and also the allegation is an injection of air into the bloodstream via the nasogastric is that what it's called? Nasogastric tube. And he said that Letby deliberately overfed child O. The registrar that she's accused of fancying and liking was away, and the KC is the allegation is, or alleging, that the sabotage was a way to get his attention so that he would speak to her because she liked him. And child O, he picked up on the fact that this was particularly cruel and it was violent. She'd been away on holiday in Ibiza. Quite a lot has been made of that. I'm not sure the relevance of Ibiza. Are they trying to paint her out as a party animal with no morals? I don't know. A coincidence, or that, it's not just a coincidence, and that she was confident when she came back from Ibiza and she wanted to carry on with the killings. He also talked about child I in summary, and this child I, 3 attempted murders and then an actual murder, and that she revelled, that was the word he used, revelled in the pain that she was causing. The doctor who looked at child I had said that child I was okay, but Letby said to the mother that child A had an issue with her abdomen. Now the KC is saying, well, why didn't you mention that to the doctor? The doctor was right there. Why wouldn't you have said that? Letby's note said there was mottling on the skin. Again, the doctor didn't mention this when they examined child I. So the KC is, I guess, kind of pushing the jury in a direction that, well, hang on a minute, she's making this up. Why didn't the doctor spot it? A doctor is more senior medically than a nurse. And he said that she timed child I's attack for when the mother wasn't there because the mother had gone to collect the other children. A lot was made as well of the doorway issue, that Letby had stood in the doorway where child I was and told another nurse that child I was pale, but the evidence in court showed that she couldn't have seen from the doorway whether child I was pale, and she said she knew what she was looking for. KC, again, bringing the jury back, said, don't ignore the constellation of coincidences. So in other words, he's kind of saying, well, there's loads of coincidental stuff that's happened, and this is not. The fact that there are so many coincidental things, ironically, is not a coincidence. It has to have been deliberate. He also talked about child C's ballooning stomach, and that could only have been from injecting air. And he said this is her favourite way to kill. This is what she does. And again, he mentioned this gaslighting of the jury, because To her colleague, she had mentioned the new girl, which he said, you're trying to get them to think that mistakes are being made by the less experienced nurse, and that the new nurse is not good at her job. Child G, this was quite damning. He reminded the jury that the doctor had seen blood from Child G's vocal cords, and the KC asked the doctor, what caused this? Lucy Letby. It's a signature of many of her attacks. So to kind of, I now don't know what I think, but I think that's strong. I think the KC, his closing speech was very, very strong. So tomorrow, Monday, what's going to happen is that the defence will begin their closing speech. So that is going to be very interesting. And the KC for the prosecution has done an excellent job. You should now be thinking he has proved his case. However, listen out, next week, let's see what happens. Let's see what the defence KC has to say all about it. Any questions, any comments, please keep them respectful. Some people write mean stuff online. That's not cool. And also, we don't want to be in contempt of court. So it's not just about me, but just, think about what you're writing.